you're still stuck a second off the top times on the leaderboards in Gran Turismo 7, then this video is for you. I'm going to share with you 5 essential tips that made all the difference for me. And if you're not using them, you're leaving serious time on the table. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Sam, aka Sammy Snake, aka the fastest snake in the world. I'm an A+ rated driver, regularly competing in the top split daily races. I hold a few world records within Gran Turismo 7, and I'm going to share with you 5 tips that I use every time I want to get faster. I'll take you through each one of these tips and how to apply them, so make sure to stay tuned. The first tip I've got for you is to trail brake. Now I'm going to give you 2 examples here. The first is showing you how you negotiate a corner without trail braking. So what you'll see as we're entering the braking zone, we brake in a straight line, and then as we approach the apex, we lift off the brake and let the car coast into the corner and then accelerate out of it. This is the type of braking most Gran Turismo 7 players make. Now, make a note of the distance to the ghost right in front of you there, as we're about to show you an example of how much time you can gain from trail braking. Now, trail braking is a method of continuing to brake as we are turning into the corner. So it allows you to brake later. So we've braked maybe 5 to 10 meters later on this example. But what we're going to do now, we're going to keep a bit of braking input as we turn into the corner. We slowly lift off. The more we turn the wheel, and as we approach the apex of the corner, we're able to get straight back onto the accelerator. We've slowed down all the way into the apex. We've gained all the way into the braking zone, and we're much closer to that ghost now. If you want a fully comprehensive guide on how to trail brake, make sure to check out my YouTube video. I'll put the link in the description if you want to learn more. So tip number 2 is to use every inch of the track. Again, we're going to use 2 examples of how much time can be gained just from pushing the track limits. In this first example, we're going to push the limit all the way up to the red and white curbs, try and drive on the limit, but only go up to that boundary. So, as you can see, the ghost isn't getting a million miles away from us. This is still going to be good enough to set a gold time of a 25.029. But in the next example, I'm going to show you how much time can be gained from using every inch of the track. So what we're aiming to do in this next example is to widen the entry into the corner, shallow each corner by abusing the track limits. This time we go over the red and white curbs on both of these corners. Straight away we've gained a big chunk of time, and not only have we been able to carry more speed into that first complex, we've been able to carry more speed through the chicane, and we're able to actually improve our time by nearly half a second just from using every inch of the track. So my next tip is to make sure you use every inch of the track that you can. Right, for the next tip, we're going to head to the time trial currently at the Le Mans circuit in GR1 cars. So what we're going to do here, we're going to jump straight to track, and we're going to load a replay from the leaderboards. We're going to pick the #1 time in the world, which is set by Damien currently. And now we're going to have a ghost, which we've set to 0.3 seconds in front of us and to reset at each sector, so we can follow this ghost. Now what I'm showing you here is my attempt at just taking the corners as I think I should, whilst following the ghost. And the first thing I noticed is over the line, that ghost has a lot more speed and momentum over the line. And then when I've come to the chicane and I change down into second gear, taking what I think are the appropriate gears, and I don't seem to make many mistakes, I can see again I'm losing bags of time to Damien in front. I'm trying to do the best I can to follow the ghost so I can see for reference when I'm getting things right and wrong, but it's evident that it is just far too quick for me to follow. And as we fast forward it down the straight and look at the sector time, we can see we hit a 59 second 0.6. So we're lacking here. What do we need to do? What we need to do is go back to the leaderboards before we enter the time trial, go to the top 10 times, find the coast that we're following and watch the replay. So we can use both the ghost and what we've seen visually to learn exactly why we're losing the time we are. And one of the things that I first noticed, which I don't actually show in this replay, is taking third gear out of the final chicane. So that's one thing to learn from. The second thing that I saw from watching this is that actually it changes down into first gear to rotate the car, then straight into third and actually exits out of fourth gear. I also noticed that the apex speed for this corner was just under 100 miles an hour and then changed to fourth. And the last thing that I learned from this first sector was that he actually takes sixth gear coming out of this final corner. All valuable information. And now we know both of these things. With the visual aid of the ghost, we can go back to track and try and implement that. So let's see what happens when we take third gear through this final chicane and see how much speed we carry across the line and try and copy what else Damien is doing. And straight away we notice we stay a lot closer to the ghost, so it's definitely faster to take third gear out of that corner. And as we come into this apex, for the chicane, we change it down into first, it rotates nicely, third gear into fourth, just like Damien, and again, we're much closer. You can see how watching and then having that visual of the ghost really work well together. Again, get it down to just under 110 miles an hour, fourth gear acceleration, and then sixth gear out of this final corner. So let's fast forward it down to the sector time and see how much time we gained just from watching that. And that was a 58.794. That's 9/10 we've gained just from using a ghost and watching the replay. So make sure that you're implementing both of these things together to really bring your times down and get some serious speed around the track. Okay, so let's talk braking markers and acceleration markers. And for this example, I'm going to show you a lap around Tokyo Expressway. Now I'm using an account which I haven't set a time with. And I'm going to show you this example because I have actually already done a lap here on my other account. I've done a 154.9, which I believe, yeah, it's in the top 100 times. So I already know my braking markers, my acceleration markers, and there I was. I am number 56 in the world on my other account. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk around this lap and show you within one lap, I'll be able to get gold just from purely knowing where to brake, when to accelerate, and how once you have learnt these markers, you can implement them for consistency and pace. Okay, let's go. Okay, all right, let's go. We're going to take this lap fairly steady to secure the gold. This first corner we lift, about 90 miles an hour, early change into fourth, and then accelerate out. The next braking marker we're looking for when we come over the start finish line is the 50 board. We're going to brake just before or just on the 50 board, trail brake down into fourth, get it just under 120 miles an hour, and then into fifth gear and early acceleration on the way out. The acceleration markers, the middle of the apex for that corner. Now, as we come down into this next complex, the braking marker is about 10 yards past this 150. So we go past, brake, down into first to get it to rotate, second gear for a bit of acceleration, then into third, lift a little bit to get the line right, early change into fourth gear to stop it understeering out, and then the last orange marker, just before the last orange marker, we trail brake, get it down under 110, and then the acceleration marker was that the first orange board on for the right corner. You see they were turning to the right, they were saying a right turn. That's what I look for as I'm coming into that corner to accelerate out. Now as we come down the straight, the next braking marker kind of a straight, there are some corners, but it's flat out, is the 150. We want to brake on the 150, get it to about 40 mile an hour apex speed, then early into second gear, and accelerate out. Now, this next complex, they're not really braking markers, it's just before the corner, just after the 50, dab on the brakes, down into fourth gear, carry the speed, which is around 120 to 125. That's what you want to try and maintain around these corners. And then just after the 50, down into third, into fourth gear for 90 mile an hour apex speed. Well, there you have it. One lap done. That should be gold. And that's just from knowing my acceleration markers and braking markers. And just to prove, that was one lap and then gold, a 155.948, 810th in the world. And the gold time here was a 157.8. So we're nearly in by 2 seconds, just from knowing the lap, just from knowing our braking and acceleration markers. They're really important. And you can see how that gives you the consistency to just hop onto any circuit that you've done before with the same tires and in the same car. You just go, right, I know what I'm doing here. Right, yes, tip number 5, don't drive on the limit all of the time. Now, this might sound a little bit counterintuitive, as if you're wanting to drive really fast, perhaps in time trial, and push the limits, you are driving on the limits. But when you're racing, and you want to be fast consistently, you know, over say 2 or 3 laps, then even though you know, say the braking markers, where you can brake at the last possible moment and make the corner and the apex speeds that you can carry, it pays dividends to actually maybe brake a tiny bit before that and shave a little bit of speed off the apex speeds to have consistent race pace. So to show you again that this is legitimate, I'm going to do 3 laps around Tokyo Expressway, which is notoriously difficult to not hit the wall and invalidate your laps, and show you if you just drive within your limits and don't push too hard. My aim is to show you that you can consistently be fast and get within the goal time. So the aim is to do 3 laps back to back within a 157.8, and that's going to prove to you that sometimes holding back is better than pushing to the limit. So let's jump in and go. Okay, let's see if the proof is in the pudding. 3 back-to-back laps within a 157.8. I'm going to pretend like I'm in a daily race and I've got somebody right behind me, and I know that as long as I maintain good race pace, then I should have a fairly good chance of getting a good result. If you're still watching the video and you found any of these tips helpful, please do me a massive favour, hit the subscribe button and leave a like on the video. We're on our way to 5,000 subscribers and any help is massively appreciated. The more subscribers I get, the better the content I can create. We have live streams every Monday where we compete in the top split lobbies, and every Sunday we have community races. And if you're subscribed, you get to stay up to date with everything that's going on the channel, see these videos that should be helpful, and join in the community races. And there we go. 3 back-to-back laps, all within around 3/10 of each other, consistent, about 5 to 6 tenths off my fastest lap, but all 3 of them comfortably within that gold margin, because I knew my braking points, I knew my acceleration markers, and then I didn't drive on the limit. The proof is in the pudding there, guys. Okay, let's quickly recap on what we've gone over today. Number 1, trail braking. We've learned that from trail braking, mastering that method of lifting off the brake as we're turning, but still having some braking input going around the corner into the corner, really helps to find time and carry speed. Number 2, using every inch of the track. Really push those track limits, being able to go wider and shallow the angle into the corner helps to brake later, carry more speed through it, and carry more speed out of the corner. And then number 3, learn from the ghosts. The demonstration or the time trial ghosts. You can see where you are gaining time. If you are all of a sudden closing the gap up to a ghost, going into a corner, but then it absolutely disappears into the distance coming out of the corner, you're braking too late, carrying too much speed in and messing up the exit and are slower overall because of that. Number 4, use visual markers for your braking markers and your acceleration markers. That really helps to not only find pace but also consistency. And then finally, number 5, I've proved that you don't have to drive on the limit to be fast consistently. Yes, you might be a little bit slower than your best ever lap time, but overall for a race you will be quicker because you're making less mistakes, and that will really help you to get that driver rating up. If this video has helped you, do me a favor, drop a like, make sure you're subscribed. I'm releasing weekly videos like this to help people get better at the game, as well as live streams on Monday, doing the daily races in the top split lobbies, and community races every Sunday where the Snake Pit all come together, have a laugh, do some races, and also some Destruction Derby. Let me know in the comments which one out of these 5 tips did you struggle with the most, and has this video helped me? And if there's anything else you'd like me to cover, again, leave a comment and perhaps I can cover that in the next video. But until the next time, it's over and out from the Racing Snake, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.